So, as a band, you have grown together for more than 10 years now, and being in the studio, how is it like? Do you still discover unknown things at the other?
Yeah, definitely. You know, like you say, kind of, you know, there's a song called "What's Your Blues" on the album, which is where we constructed that song and the way it was written was different, you know, than any other way we've worked before. Mm-hmm. You know, and same with a song like "Miss You Up a Disco Dancer." You know, the way that was written and the way it was kind of like constructed was like, you know, completely new to us. So like, yeah, we were definitely finding new ways of going around, to create the music this time. Yeah, and it's definitely the easiest part of being a band. Being in the studio is the easiest part.
Really?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, by a million miles.
Wow.
We kind of discovered that James is living his life and in an American time zone. He just goes to bed at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm convinced he actually thinks he's living in New York constantly. You realise he just does the most bizarre hours that I've ever come across in my life. Because I go to bed very early. Yeah. And I had to stop him playing guitar sometimes because his guitars were so loud and I was keeping me up in the night.
Fuck.
That's actually true. I always get a good night's sleep in New York.
Okay. Is it like that you sometimes have really stress and say, hey man, I can't see you for 2 days now, go off and leave me alone? Or is it?
I think it's every around now and again, making sure I don't want to be around when I'm doing guitar overdubs because they just realise I'm playing the same thing over and over again but just with different sounds. So like, you know.
Well, there was one moment in Wales where it was 6:45 in the morning. The sun was just rising, it's like a farm sort of place, and I could hear just humongous guitar, and I went into the studio and James was just sat in a room with all his amps on. He wasn't playing a song or anything, he was just like pretending to be Slash, jamming with himself, basically.
That's good.
And I just looked at him and going, you know, why are you doing this? And he was just like, oh, it's great.
It's good.
So that's when I get in the car with Sean and go home.
Okay, coming up now is one of your first singles, Found That So. The video, I've seen it once, but it's a pretty weird one with all the spats and...
It's very cheap. It's only cost £5,000. It's done by an artist called Jeremy Deller, we've worked with before in various kind of concepts. And we just wanted something cheap and nasty like the record, a kind of Iggy and the Stooges sort of vibe to it. And it's just Manic's fans reading their favourite books, really, mixed in with bats and stuff. Filmed in London Zoo in the night.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was filmed in the jungle somewhere.
No.
All right.
It's filmed in the London jungle.